Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in, feel a wonderful, calm feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, just allow any feelings of tension or stress to just feel like it's leaving your body in your outward breath, enabling you to breathe in and breathe out, and breath by breath, feeling deeper and deeper relaxed. On the next outward breath, notice that with your eyes closed, you're able to give more of your attention to the sound of my voice. And in doing so, open up your mind to the possibilities of your own imagination. As you breathe in and breathe out, I want you to notice that your imagination is infinitely powerful. The nearest thing that currently exists to a quantum computer is your own brain, capable of so much more than anyone can ever know. Sometimes when you dream, you create entirely new universes, different characters, different people, some of which you've never met before, and yet they seem to have their own personality, their ability to make their own choices. In many ways, your imagination can create a TV show that only exists in your mind. And I want you to imagine that just within your imagination, you are seeing yourself almost like you're the main character in a TV show. But I want you to imagine that what you're watching just inside your own imagination are the things that you do that perhaps you feel are beneath you, that deep down you know these things are not good for you. Maybe there's times in your life where you're deceitful. Maybe there's times in your life where you don't do the right thing. And I want you to imagine that you're observing yourself as that person doing the things you know that you're capable of improving, of changing in some way. But in the recent past, you've done these things. And I want you to get a sense that you're shifting perspective from observing yourself to going into that version of you and feel what it feels like to remember doing those things as if you're doing them in the present. If you're lying to someone, imagine those lies coming out of your mouth. If you're being mean, cruel, or just unhelpful, imagine doing that unhelpful thing. I want you to imagine that you are reliving whatever that thing is that you do every now and then that you know you're better than. You know you could have higher standards. You know that you are capable of being better than that version of you. But for now, just experience what it's like to do that thing that isn't the best version of you. Maybe you eat too much, drink too much. Maybe there's a substance you take. Maybe there's a habit that other people might not be impressed to know that you do. And that's okay, because no one is perfect. But just imagine that you're doing that thing that doesn't portray you in the best light. And then imagine you're sitting wherever you would normally sit to watch TV. Maybe that's on a sofa in a front room, or maybe it's somewhere else. I want you to imagine switching the TV on, and there is a streaming platform. And maybe it's one that is very popular, where you can scroll across and see different TV shows and movies. But I want you to imagine that you're just scrolling through, and there is a title of a TV show that catches your eye. The title of the TV show is simply whatever your first name is, followed by Is Awful. You are awful. And there is a picture, perhaps, of someone famous that looks a little like you. And I want you to create in your own imagination what famous celebrity most looks like you. And imagine that they are portraying you in a TV show of you at your worst. They look a bit like you, but they're not you. But I want you to imagine you're now in shock as you see that actor portraying your life, doing the things that portrays you in an awful way. I want you to get a sense that you're hoping this is just something that only you can see. Maybe it's a prank. But you start receiving text messages, calls from other people asking if you've seen that show. And I want you to imagine what it would be like to imagine all those things that you're not proud of, that you regret, that you're ashamed of, being done on a TV show by an actor that looks like you to an audience of millions. How would people perceive you differently? What friendships or relationships would it cost? What would be the implications in your career, in your profession, if everyone knew those things you did that even you weren't proud of? Continue to see that actor that looks like you continue to do those things, as perhaps for the first time, maybe ever, you get a unique perspective on your own life, like you're seeing it through the lens of a TV show. And if it makes you feel unsettled, then there are really only two options. You can embrace and accept that quality, that thing that you do as just something you do. If anyone else in the world isn't happy with it, that is their problem, not yours. Acceptance is a choice that you have with this thing that in the past you've perceived that you didn't want to keep doing. And with acceptance, the shame, the embarrassment, and any feelings of guilt are able to just disappear. But it may be that you don't want to accept that. If you had your way, you could perhaps keep doing that thing and just hope that other people never find out. And that will create a feeling of conflict, perhaps hypocrisy, and imposter syndrome. But there is a second option. Now that you've seen your life through the lens of how other people would see you at your worst, maybe it creates a feeling, a resolve to change. And I want you to imagine that if you're willing to accept yourself with these things that you do that don't represent you at your best, I want you to imagine playing that TV show back again, but this time you notice that you're able to watch through the lens of acceptance. You're able just to accept that this is you and you don't care who knows. Notice the actor seems more comfortable, carefree, and you don't care who sees this because you yourself have accepted it. But there may be things that you would, now that you have this unique perspective, like to change. In which case you can use this TV show for the actor that is playing the role of you to make different choices. Replay the show through the lens of how you would have preferred to have handled these same situations, perhaps with more integrity, more honesty, more self-control or more discipline, more empathy, more compassion. And as you see that actor playing that version of you at your higher standards, you living in accordance with your values, you can't help but notice that this feels so much better. Why would you want to accept yourself at your worst if you have the desire and the capability to raise your standards and make a change? If you see yourself eating or drinking too much, see the actor playing you in your life, reducing how much you eat. If you see yourself on that screen being deceitful, dishonest, see yourself being honest and full of integrity. If you see yourself with an addiction or a habit that is self-destructive in some way, see yourself through that actor playing you on that large screen, doing something that meets the same need in a way that you're actually happy with. I want you to get a sense that the more you watch this TV show, the more you realize that it's an opportunity for empowered change. That seeing your life through the lens of you being an actor in a TV show means that you get to live your life with the benefit of a unique feedback loop. I want you to imagine you wake up the next morning knowing that your life is going to be a TV show that millions of people will see. Only you have an alternative title for your TV show. And it won't end with is awful. I want you to think of a adjective, a description of how you would want other people to see you. Maybe it's your name is thoughtful, kind, awesome. Or maybe it's qualities that showcase your drive, your creativity. Whatever quality you are most proud of, set the intention that this new day will be a day to showcase your best quality. Imagine what you would do waking up. And just imagine, for the sake of ease, that the title is Your Name is Fantastic. What would it be like for you to wake up in the morning feeling fantastic? To do something fantastic? What would you be like with the person you love, with your family, if you were fantastic? How would you be in your working environment? How would you need to think like and be like to be the very best version of you? Notice how much more considerate you are, determined you are, not wasting time, doing what needs to be done in the best way possible. Maybe you're more enthusiastic, more creative. I want you to imagine that you're living your life at your absolute best. All the way through the day, into the evening, you're at your absolute best. And then imagine it's the evening. You turn on the TV, and sure enough, the title of the TV show has changed. No longer does it say that you are awful. It says that you are whatever characteristic, quality, or adjective you wanted it to be, that is most in line with who you really are. Notice the same famous actor or actress playing you on that TV show, and you get to see you at your absolute best, living your highest standards, aligned with your values, doing what is naturally and effortlessly at your best. And it feels good to see this famous actor playing you at your very best, as you see that when you're at your best, you are an inspiration even to yourself. And I want you to feel how good it feels to witness yourself at higher standards and set the intention that you will raise those standards even higher the next day. That actually seeing you at your worst was just a catalyst to unlock the resources necessary for you to be at your best. I want you to imagine that you are unlocking all of the blocks, all of the barriers, all of the things that could get in the way of you being at your absolute best. And in doing so, you can imagine that when you wake up tomorrow, this is your desire: to raise your standards, to unlock the power of this infinite quantum computer inside your own mind, to move away from what is easy and lazy, to move away from what is destructive, detrimental, or selfish, and instead unlock even more qualities and capabilities for you to unlock the version of you at your absolute best. Imagine turning off that TV show, feeling those incredible qualities within you, and accepting change is possible, but sometimes you need to see your life through the eyes of others to unlock the desire to change. Feel like you're returning to the present wherever you are now, listening to my voice. In a few moments' time, I will count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awakening the infinite resources within you to be at your absolute best. Accepting that this journey in your imagination was no different to a TV show within a TV show within a TV show, created using a quantum computer, generating stories and lives, dramatizing it and conducting it within your own mind. But it's now time to break that quantum computer, to leave your imagination into the real world, but taking all those wonderful changes with you and enabling you to be the main character in your life. Imagine you have something to break that supercomputer, that quantum computer. As I count from 1 to 10, you will awaken feeling resourceful, ready to be the main character in your life. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.